Hey y'all, welcome back to Crime and Cocktails. I'm Lena, and if you anything like me, then you love true crime and a little drinky drink. And on this channel, we're doing a little bit of both, so get your drink and let's get into this next story. Tonight, I'm back on the Moscato. I switched it up for y'all last week, but I told y'all this is my favorite. As y'all can see, I done already drunk like the whole bottle. We ain't gonna get into that. But grab y'all drinks, go ahead and get them together, because this one is a good one. Came right here from my hometown, Milwaukee. And it's weird that I never heard about this. One of my friends, Jackie, my boo Jackie, she the one who told me about the story. And then I got another friend of mine, Cortez. Yes, I'm shouting you out with your big head ass. He actually kind of like he knew about the story. He actually like knew the people, the family and that. So he was giving me information and I was, researching and I was trying to dig up as much information on this story that I could. And so I got what I could. And it's a really good story. It's, I don't want to say good because, it's not good, but it's a story and we here. So let's talk about it. Y'all see, I switched it up. I put on some red lipstick for y'all today. So anyways, now this story is about the Northside Strangler. And if y'all know me, y'all know I'm from the North Side. So this really I was like, ooh, there's some creepy shit going on around here. And the murderer in this case is a guy named Walter Ellis, okay? And he was born on July 24th, 1960 to his parents, Leroy and Maddie Ellis. They had Walter and they had 5 other children. So, pretty big family, whatever. They lived in a home close to 6th and Burleigh. From the addresses, I was trying to find the exact address just to be like even more creepy and like Google map the house, I'm that type of person. But I couldn't find the exact address, but it was people who were giving accounts on him and how they knew him and this, that, and the other. And this was the area that they were all in. So it was around, 6th and Burleigh. They actually lived in that house for years until it ended up eventually burning down in the 70s. Even though the house, burned down and the house was gone, Walter still hung around the neighborhood often. For many years he was around. And people, one of his childhood acquaintances said that, she just thought of him being like a regular old Joe. Like it was nothing weird about him or nothing strange. That's always the first question is people who know these folks is how you couldn't tell he was a killer. How you could tell these motherfuckers be sociopaths, okay? They put on a good front and they live in society like the rest of us. And low-key, they killing people. So be careful. Watch out in your own neighborhood is what I just found out. So, it says that, yeah, she thought he was just, a regular old person. But some other people in the neighborhood had other accounts. And they said that he was real mean. And he was troubled. And he was violent as a boy. There's people saying that, he used to beat up the neighborhood kids. And, just torturing their ass. Torturing the whole damn hood. Okay? So... some of the people even said, now of course these are adults now, but they were, I was reading like interviews that they did when they found out, that he was the killer. I guess the news reporters went around asking people, do you know him? How you feel about him? But some of them were saying that they even would like go all the way around the block and take the long way home just to avoid passing a house up. This is how much of a nuisance this motherfucker was. And he was only a kid. This was a kid. I wish I would. Well, let me stop. Here I go again saying what I would do. I'm going to try to stop doing that. But yeah, he was scaring the hell out them kids. Okay, they were scared. They didn't even walk past the damn house. Damn bully. Okay, so anyways, they did also say though, and this was the majority of the people who knew him, they said that the older he got, the nicer he got. So, of course, because he started killing motherfuckers. He didn't want y'all to get, privy that he was a damn murderer. But anyways, before this all even happened, he already was a known criminal. Long before all of this stuff even popped out. He was already a known criminal. They He had been arrested 12 times. 12 between 1981 and 1998. He had been arrested 12 times before the DNA evidence linked him to the murder of 7 Milwaukee women. Okay, 7 of them. And that's just the number of women who they like were sure of, like could collect DNA from and say, yes, you was your DNA, you did it. But they are speculating that there were about 20 women, and so I'm guessing that the way these women died, it matched his profile or whatever, but for some reason they couldn't link him to him, but they kind of feel like he did the shit. So he, in 1998, like I said, he was arrested 12 times between 81 and 98. And then in 1998, he did get sentenced to 5 years for reckless endangerment. Okay, so now let's go through like a little timeline of all these crimes that he committed, which was like a lot. And I'm not talking about the murders. I'm talking about just this motherfucker going to jail. Just going to jail. Okay, so let's see. So it started in November of 1978. He was convicted of felony burglary, and he got 4 years of probation for that. No jail time, just 4 years probation. Then in May of 1979, he had some unspecified drug charges, and he only received a fine for that. Okay, then in May of 1980, he was brought in for suspicion of soliciting prostitutes. So he was trying to buy some coochie. Okay, and they arrested his ass for doing that, but there were no charges. Like they didn't hold that against him or whatever. They buy your coochie, nigga. Just don't kill these hoes. I'm sorry. In June of 1980, he was brought in on robbery, which they said was just like an accusation. So I guess somebody just like, oh, he robbed me or whatever, and they brought him in. I guess they did their research or whatever, their investigation, and then they ended up dropping like it was no charge. He didn't get charged for none of that. Then in 1981, he was convicted of delivering a controlled substance. So he was trying to sell some dope or something, right? They gave him 2 years probation. Ain't he already on 4 years of probation? That was in 78. So he was still supposed to be on probation, right? Whatever. So then in November of 1981, he got another drug charge, possession with intent to deliver, and it was a probation violation. So now they finally realizing his ass is on probation. Okay. And since he had violated his probation, he did do 3 years in prison. Then come September 1985, he got charged again with soliciting prostitutes and battery. So he not only was trying to get the prostitutes, he was beating them up. Okay, it's a little kinky, some people like that kind of thing. I don't know. But all them charges ended up getting dismissed too, right? This is crazy. Then, on October 10th and 11th of 1986, the bodies of 2 prostitutes, Deborah Harris, who was 31, and Tanya Miller, who was only 19, were found strangled a day apart. So one's body was found on the 10th of October, the other one was found on the 11th. Okay, it was just their bodies were found. That was the end of that. I guess they had an investigation going on or whatever, but that at this point didn't have anything to do with Walter right now. Okay, so then October 18th of 1986, he was convicted of resisting arrest or obstructing an officer, and he ended up doing 7 months. So this what gets me is he done committed all these crimes. Y'all ain't really giving him no jail time, just steady throwing probation at his ass, which he clearly don't give a damn about because he's still committing crimes. So he don't care nothing about y'all probation. But as soon as he resists the officer, y'all gonna lock him up. Like, y'all gonna let him just be free and kill all us. But as soon as he do something to y'all, then y'all wanna lock him up. This system is so twisted. My opinion. This is just my opinion, okay? Y'all know how I do. It's my opinion. So yeah, when he resisted the officer, he ended up getting 7 months in house corrections. Now, in May of 1987, he was convicted of felony retail theft. So he just got 3 years probate, 3 more years added on to all this probation time he got. And he did do 9 months in the house corrections for that. Then in November of 1988, he was arrested for breaking into a car and resisting an officer, which was another probation violation. And then after that, he was transferred to the state prison, where he was held until January 1990. Again, something with the police, you run from the police, you resisting the police, now they want to lock you up. Then, when he was released in 1990, which I don't think he was released, it was just his time was done right there. They then, they made, that's so funny. They thought they made him think like, yeah, we finna let you out, you finna get out. And then they indicted his ass to it was federal drug. He had federal drug charges. So he must have had a lot of whatever it was he had, or he had been doing it and they just ain't recorded or whatever. They was probably watching him. I don't know. But federal time. He got transferred to a federal prison until June of 1990. And then in June, they sent his ass back to state. So he got sent back to state custody for 4 months in June. And then in November of 1990, he started a 30-month sentence at a federal prison in Minnesota. So I guess when they indicted him or whatever, that's the time he got, was the 30 months. And then they sent him to Minnesota to go and serve that out. Now, in May of 1992, he was released for, get this, good behavior. Really, it's not funny, but that's what, this man who been committing all these damn crimes and getting locked up every couple months, committing a crime every month for the last 55,000 years. Good behavior, really? Okay, so, yes, they released his ass on good behavior. That threw me off, threw me all the way off. But then, turn around, right, on November 13th of 1992, he was arrested for a probation violation, and they sent him to a halfway house. Then, and what I say, that was November 13th. Then, on November 28th of that same year, 1992, the body of Irene Smith is found at 3028 North 7th. So that's right off 7th and Burleigh. Then in December of 1992, Walter got arrested for leaving a halfway house that they had sent him to. He ended up leaving, running or whatever, and they caught his ass and they arrested him for that. Now, I assume that he spent, like a year and a half in jail, because then there was no record of no crimes being committed, and clearly whenever he's committing a fucking crime. So from December 92 to October of 94, we didn't hear nothing from him, right? Well, November of 94. But in October, on the 13th of 1994, Karen Kilpatrick, who was 32, she was found stabbed and strangled. Then November of 1994, Walter got charged with first-degree reckless endangerment for stabbing his girlfriend with a screwdriver. Then the charges got dismissed. So I don't know. She was probably in love with his ass. So I'm not going to do. She was stabbed, so she had to say something. But then, she loved him, so she ain't tell, or she ain't show up to court. And so they ended up, dropping the charges or whatever. So in April of 95, a lady named Florence McCormick, she was 28, she was found in a vacant house strangled. And then in June of 1995, Sheila Ferrier, y'all know I can't pronounce these names. She was 32. She was also found strangled in an abandoned house. Then on August 30th of 1995, a 16-year-old runaway who came from South Milwaukee, her name was Jessica Payne, she was found behind a vacant house with her throat cut, right? Now, this wasn't Walter's M.O. Like, that wasn't what he did. You know what I mean? So it was said that the police knew that it wasn't him, and they knew who it was, but somehow, some way, like, this still came up in his discovery. Like, it still came up in his cases that he did it. So I guess I don't know. I don't know how that went. That was some more weird shit going on. Maybe a police killed her. I don't know. But who they covering up for? Because if y'all knew it wasn't him, why y'all just still trying to pin it on him? But again, that goes back to what I was saying last week. That it be police who don't really, they just want to get that case under their belt, that they solved it, that it's solved. You know what I mean? So maybe that's what was going on. I don't know. But anyways, so then in September of 1995, he got charged with a misdemeanor battery and accused of choking his girlfriend out, like choking her until she passed out. Them charges was dismissed too. She just gonna keep on letting him beat on her and stab her up with screwdrivers and choke her ass out and all that shit. When they were telling that nigga, that's love. Then June 20th of 1997, the body of 41-year-old Joyce Mims was found strangled in a vacant house also. Then December of 1997, he went back to stealing. Because he don't steal, he kill, or he don't kill, he steal. That nigga doing both of them. But, yes, he was convicted of felony theft and resisting. He got 5 more years of probation. Don't y'all see probation is not working for this man? Why they just keep putting him on probation and he don't give a damn? I don't know. But he also served 6 months in HOC again. He was used to that. That was his second home. Now they just keep putting this thing in house correction. Then in August 1998, he was convicted of second-degree reckless injury, and he ended up, they didn't go into detail about what that was, but somehow I want to believe that this was against his girlfriend, because he just keep fucking her up, and she keep not telling on his ass. So I just want to believe, I don't know, I can't say for sure, but I want to believe it has something to do with her. But yeah, second-degree reckless injury, and he spent almost 3 years in prison, and then he was released in July of 2001. Now, in February of 2001, Walter's DNA got sent to an Oshkosh prison, but the state crime lab said that they never did receive the DNA. Okay, so that was something weird going on. Now, let me tell you about the story that I heard. Now, this is going to kind of detour us from Walter's story for just a second. Just a hot second. Take a drink, y'all. I'm taking a drink. Y'all take a drink. So, the lab said that they never received his DNA, right? What I heard was that while he was in prison, he got another inmate to like use their DNA and say it was his. Like how you do that or how that worked, I don't even know. But that's what they're saying, and that's why they saying that he was able to, go under the radar and not be suspected of these murders for so long, because the DNA that they had on file for him wasn't really his DNA. Okay, so now, meanwhile, 2 of the murders, they charged 2 other men with these murders. One is Shantae Ott, which Shantae sounds like a girl name, don't it? But he was charged with one of the murders, and then another man named William Avery was charged with another one of the murders. Okay. So they just both sitting up in jail for some murders that they didn't commit, right? Right. Okay, we gonna come back. Let's do it like this. We gonna come back to that because it's some more story to that too. But we gonna come back. Let's finish this first. So then, like I said, the crime lab said they never did receive his DNA. Okay. So now, lastly, on April 27th of 2007, 28-year-old. Now, this name is I'm telling y'all, I don't know how to pronounce this name at all. I almost don't even want to try, but I want to do this lady some justice. I I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Her name is spelled so weird. Therion, I think. Something like that. Stokes. She was found in a vacant building that they said used to be like a rooming house. And she was also strangled. All of his victims were raped and strangled, with the exception of the 16-year-old Jessica Payne, whose throat was slit, who they knew that wasn't his MO, and they basically knew that he didn't do that. But all the other victims were raped and strangled. One reason that he was able to elude the police for so long is because all the victims were prostitutes. So they had multiple sources of DNA, found on their bodies, and they were all drug addicts. And so with that, the police feel like that's why they went with Walter willingly. He was probably like, oh, I got some dope, and you know what I'm saying? Like, egging him to come on with him, and, promising to give him some dope and probably some money or whatever, what they was looking for. And so they ended up going, and just sadly, they didn't come back. So then on September 7th, 2009, Walter was arrested for suspicion of being this notorious serial killer that all the police looking for and then killed all these ladies over these years. On February 18th, 2011, he pleaded no contest to the 7 murders. Guess what? They convicted him anyways. Like, don't play with us. We know what you did. We know what you did. So, then 6 days later, on February 24th, he got sentenced to 7 life sentences without the possibility of parole. Well, it was something I wanted to say right before that. He was sentenced to 7 life sentences, no parole. In November of 2011, they moved him from Wisconsin to a maximum security prison in South Dakota, where he was going to live out the rest of his days, because he was never going to get out, period. Then just 2 years later, which I feel like, it was lucky for him, but it wasn't good in the name of justice, his ass died. Okay? He died on December 1st, 2013 in a prison. It was natural causes. And I was just kind of mad that, y'all know I told y'all before I like happy endings. And a happy ending would have been his ass would have rotted in prison for killing all them women. But, I don't know, maybe he... Let me stop. Let me stop. He only did 2 years before his ass died in prison after he done killed all them women. He never did all the time that he spent, well, not even all, because it was only 2 years. But, after you been convicted and you got 7 life sentences, you're not getting out, you would think that somebody would go ahead and confess and, say what it was. But maybe he was planning on appealing. I don't know. But he never did say why or how he killed these women or, nothing. He never admitted to anything. And so these women, their families never did get any closure as to, how they loved ones died or, they last were or nothing. He just never, gave them anything. And that was sad to me. That was really sad. So, now before they arrested him, now back to the other story that I was going to throw in here, is before they got his ass, 2 other people were arrested for 2 of the murders. Like I said, William Avery and Shantae Ott. Now, they were both, they both sat in prison. William, I got more of his story. I didn't really get a lot of the story on Shantae, but William, I got bits and pieces of his story. And apparently, they had arrested him in 2005. He sat in jail for 5 years. He did not get cleared until 2010 on this murder. And they ended up, him and the other guy, Shantae, once they got William's real DNA and linked him to the murders and realized that they had, wrongly accused these men, they let him go. Of course, like anybody would do, they was suing that ass. Now, y'all done arrested me, put all these charges on me, calling me a murderer. And William like, I ain't a murderer, I'm a doctor. How that song go? Because he was a drug dealer. He was a known drug dealer. And so that is why he was linked to the murder, because he was the last, I don't know which woman it was, but he was the last person seen with her, which she was probably trying to buy some drugs. You know what I mean? He was the dealer. She was the addict. That's how that go. So I guess just on that, they locked him up for it. But, you know, later on once they got the DNA, they did realize that it wasn't him who did it and let him go. Well, he sued their ass, and they ended up awarding him over $1 million, right? This was in 2017. I want to say he had fought for a long time because he got released in 2010, and they didn't even award him this money until 2017. So he fought for that money, you know, for him being wrongly accused, which he shouldn't even have to do all that fighting in 7 years. Y'all know y'all wrongly accused me, or y'all wouldn't have let me out. So give me my money and keep it the fuck moving. I would have been going for more than $1 million since they want to put a motherfucker through 7 years. So he ended up getting out. They ended up finally awarding him the $1 million+ in 2017. And the worst part about it is he died in 2018. Like, it wasn't even a full year later. So he didn't get to enjoy that money or do anything with that money. And they had robbed him of 5 years of his life. And then he died. So that's a sad case. Like, that's a sad story right there. That's all kinds of messed up. I can't believe it. But another thing that I can't believe is that we had so many serial killers in Milwaukee. I did not know this. I didn't know anything about this story until my friend Jackie brought this up. I didn't know anything about it. And then once I started talking about it, Cortez was like, yeah, I know this, and woo, and you know, we got to talking about it. So I got a little bit of information from him or whatever, you know, and just saying that, you know, Walter's father, he had like owned some stores or a club or something like that. He had owned a few things or whatever, and that word is that the dad might have knew he was doing that shit. You ain't hear that from me, though. I don't know where these folks at now, and I don't want them to come look for me. But they said that the daddy might have had a clue of what his son was doing. And if that's the case, then that's really sad. I mean, that man, he probably long gone now. But it's just, I don't know. This is crazy. And it happened right here. Right in the area. Like, I'm not in the area now, but I grew up in that area too. So it's scary to just know that this was going on. And you think now that the world is crazy and anything can happen and you got to be careful and all that. But I mean, who would have thought all that back in the 80s and the early 90s? Like, who would have thought about that? I remember when I was a teenager, me and my friends, we used to be walking around, all, you know, just everywhere, just like, oh, we was just untouchable. And that's scary. That's scary, because that easily could have been any one of us, you know. So it's very scary to know that stuff like this be going on right where you live and right where you lay your head at. It is. But that's really it for this story. Once again, y'all know, like I said, I like happy endings, and the ending wasn't happy because his weak ass died after serving only 2 years for killing 7 women and possibly more. But I don't know. I feel like maybe God had something better in store for him. Jail wasn't it. Prison wasn't it. Something way worse coming for somebody like that can literally just kill all these women and not even be man enough to, after you already convicted and you know that they caught you, to not even give these people's family any type of closure and or reasoning or, you know, how or why or it's sad. It really is, y'all. It really is. But I'm glad y'all came to see me. Y'all know I enjoy this. This is fun. And it is Tuesday. Let's be clear. It's not Thursday. It's Tuesday. So I'm going to spend all day tomorrow researching another story for y'all so that I can still come and give y'all one on Thursday. Okay? That's what I want to do. Y'all got to give me y'all input because I want to do maybe a story twice a week. And then I also want to do something else, like something interactive where y'all can interact with me, you know. So I don't know, I was thinking of maybe like phone calls and y'all can give y'all outlook or what y'all think. Or my friend Shasta, again, y'all know Shasta stay with the shits, trying to like, I got something for you, I got this for you, I got this for you, that's my thing. She was saying something like quiz, you know, like ask y'all some questions or something about all the cases that I covered. And I thought that was a really good idea too. So I'm working on it. I'm thinking about it. But, you know, y'all stick with me. I've been getting really good reviews. I haven't got any bad reviews. If it is, let me know. If it's bad, let me know. I'm not going to be mad. I can take, you know, constructive criticism. I'm not going to be mad. So that's what I'm saying. Let me know what I can do to make it better. I'm trying to be better for y'all and entertain y'all. So let me know what y'all want, what y'all think. You know, give me some ideas. Let me know. And we going to keep doing it. So with that being said, I'm about to go beat my kids because they making noise. And I just told them I'm finna make a video. No, seriously. But yes, y'all, thank y'all again for coming. I appreciate y'all for the support. I see y'all with the views. I see y'all with the subscriptions. I did not think that it was going to go this well, even though I'm forcing half of y'all to subscribe. I done forced half of y'all to subscribe, but the good thing is after I forced y'all to subscribe, y'all actually like the videos and y'all come back like, oh, Lena, this was so it's okay. We gonna be okay. So y'all, again, thank y'all. I love y'all. And I will see y'all next time, okay? Thursday. So give me tomorrow to get a new story for y'all. And then Thursday, we back. Bye.